Hey everyone, Ron Burke from Gaming Trend here. Today we're going to take a look at some early gameplay from Troy, a Total War Saga. This title is the first full game from Creative Assembly Sofia, giving players a chance to go back in time to the war between the kingdoms of Troy and Mycenaean Greece, better known as the Trojan War. In this preview, we're going to be focusing on just two of the myriad of heroes you'll be eventually meeting in Troy, specifically Achilles and Hector, and the new units they can command. Total War has always focused on historical accuracy, so how would a time period so deeply steeped in myths and legends translate? Creative Assembly Sofia focused on telling the story behind the myth. As an example that we'll see in gameplay, units like centaurs and the minotaur make an appearance, but instead of being fantastical, we see possible interpretation. As an example, the minotaur is a menacingly large bandit or rebel king that wears a bull skull to intimidate his foes. He's also capable of wading in and causing a tremendous amount of damage with a giant axe. Similarly, we'll see centaurs represented as strong cavalry units, with flanking and harassing strengths that dress in a fashion that can make them, quote, one with their horses. Speaking of horses, at this time period, horse cavalry is less common, so the team instead focused on making infantry more differentiated. Here we see a distinct difference between light, medium, and heavy infantry. Light units are able to flank and maneuver better, whereas heavy units are slowed down by terrain due to heavy armor. Light units can also hide in long grass, which is another terrain type. Heavy units, on the other hand, can use alternate attacks, putting away their shields and shifting focus to the offense. Based on my few hours of the game, there's a much greater emphasis on mass and speed this time around. Heavy units can obliterate enemy lines with a heavy charge, but light units are more maneuverable and can skirmish and flank better. Medium units, as you might expect, split the difference, being somewhat good at both. As before, there is the paper, rock, scissors nature to the whole thing. Troy takes place in the Bronze Age Mediterranean, and that means new terrain types. I already mentioned one, long grass, where light units can hide, but Troy also has two more. Sand, which slows down all unit types slightly, and mud, which slows all but the lightest of infantry. When a single ambush or a hasty retreat can mean the difference between victory and defeat, knowing what might slow your charge or hasty exit becomes very important. The Trojan War is a time of heroes, so introducing legendary warriors into the game is important. Here we see Achilles, the protagonist of Homer's Iliad, and Hector, the Prince of Troy. Achilles and Hector both have a variety of special attacks and skills, and are also able to recruit special units. They also have unique advantages, such as Hector's well-drilled units, which form a tighter packed formation in battle, and are less easily routed during prolonged engagements. Both legendary warriors also have a number of special attacks that once again lean on the concept of the truth behind the legend, so as not to rise to the fantastical. As an example, Achilles has a power called Ares' Rage, which lets him do 150% damage for a short period of time, but also drives him berserk, wading into the enemy with bloodlust and completely unable to be controlled. If you've seen the movie Troy, then you'll appreciate the next addition to the formula, Divine Challenge. Spying your foe across the battlefield, once you've filled your Aristeia meter, you can trigger a Divine Challenge. This causes your heroes to square off in battle while their army cheers them on. The winner fights on, eroding the enemy's confidence, while the loser quits the field to lick their wounds for a period of time. While we don't have a release date yet, this early preview code is incredibly stable and already runs at over 100 frames per second on a 1080 Ti. It's clear that they're polishing hard for an imminent release. Stay tuned here at Gaming Trend for more information on Troy, a Total War Saga, and thanks for watching.
Cavalry! So be it! As you say! Don't hold back!
That works!
The men's spirit is broken.
All good! Forward!
We're leaving while we still can.
To war!
They're running from combat. The men's
Yes!
spirit is broken. Destroy them. They're running from combat.
Fine! I shall!
We're leaving while we still can. Sons of Achilles! Onward, warriors! Have mercy! No!
I hear you!
Have mercy!
Let's get down to it!
Save us!
Born to battle!
Annihilate!
Yes! Might conquers all!